that much. I don't know what it was. Usually I'm like all in it, but I wasn't really. But yeah, I just keyed in on Carter and how well did he do. I mean, he played good defense. It was no new information from what I already know from him. But basically you can just chalk it up to the young guys getting some reps, right? He didn't look perfect. Struggled a little bit offensively, but doesn't matter. Like, he was fine. Defensively, he looked really solid. So, yeah. So, I was thinking maybe we can just take a look at what he had to say after that game in particular. And maybe we'll get some information. Any type of information. So, here we go. I am curious to see how he felt after this game. So, first time playing NBA basketball. Let's see what Carter has to say. And Chad, if you got any opinions, you leave them in the chat. Leave them in the chat. By the way, let me bring this up. If you guys can, please join the Discord server. Two things I need from you. Join the Discord server, link below. Okay, we got like close to 1,000 Spurs fans in there, literally. So go join that. We got some really great mods over there to make sure conversations are always popping. So go join that. It's kind of like an after party, right? So, you know, when we're not live streaming, you can go to Discord and talk to other Spurs fans and all that good stuff. Also, follow Spurs Invasion. All right, Spurs Invasion. Go over to the YouTube channel Spurs Invasion and follow. Okay, that's my second channel. All right, let's take a look at what he has to say.
How's it going?
Good.
Yeah, your first day out. What do you think? What's your impressions?
Man, it was fun. I mean, it's going to be tough. First time out playing against grown men. Guys that are going to be smarter, faster, stronger than you, all those things. So I think for me, everything was a learning experience. I got to be smarter a lot of times. A lot of the mistakes I made were just mental errors. So I think for me moving forward, I just got to look back at this film and make adjustments.
This might be a silly question, but
So confident. These guys that are in lottery are just a different breed.
were there any nerves at all before this one?
Genuinely, there weren't.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, usually before every game, I get some butterflies before I go out there, but there was no nerves for me. I was just excited to go and play basketball. I haven't got to play basketball since.
Carter Bryant getting interviewed by Morty? Like from Rick and Morty? I don't know, Carter. I think you could have done better.
We lost to Duke at Arizona, so for me to have Spurs across my chest and be able to represent one of the most storied franchises in NBA history, it was just, I was ready to go and compete.
And then like 23 seconds.
It's a summer league game, man. It's actually not that serious. I feel like a lot of people with summer league, it's like way too high or way too low when it comes to summer league. Like, I recall people from the get like saying Blake Wesley was absolute trash, right? And then I think it was the second summer league, and then everyone was like, oh my god, Blake Wesley is about to be a star. And it's like, it's the summer league, okay? This is just a good way for him to get reps. A lot of guys that are in the summer league are trying to get signed themselves. Well, a lot of guys. Most of the guys are trying to get signed themselves. So they're gonna, you know, be a little bit more selfish at times too. I noticed that. Like, some guys just kind of taking shots that they shouldn't have taken, right? But Carter Bryant, he has a spot on the team, right? So this is mainly for him. This is just getting reps, getting used to NBA speed and all that good stuff. But he'll be fine. I think that we'll see way more once we get to preseason. But right now, the things that Carter Bryant are going to struggle with, and I brought this up before we even drafted him, was ball handling. He's going to struggle with that at times. But all the positives, it's like his three-point shooting, there's upside there, but we haven't really gotten to see him take a large amount of those. But we know he can shoot. He's capable of it, just a lot of upside. But defense is what he's going to be able to hang his hat on. Like, that's the main thing he'll be able to hang his hat on. Everything outside of that, he's going to struggle a little bit, right? Is he a great decision maker? I think he is. I think he's a very smart decision maker, smart player, high basketball IQ. Is he a good shooter? I think he is. Okay, I think he has a lot of upside there, and I think he can shoot. Got good shooting form and all that. It's just gonna take some time, you know. It's gonna take a minute. It's gonna take a minute. That's why, like, some guys, you know, you just kind of. I'll talk about it in a minute.
Later in, there's this big long delay with the scoreboard. What was that like? What are you guys doing?
It's part of the game.
Yeah.
Stuff gonna happen every once in a while, so I'm not too worried about it.
What are your impressions of just the way you performed and the way you played? Do you feel like you did what you came to do today, or?
I mean, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing for me. Like, I could have had 40. I could have scored 0 points. There's always room for improvement for me. I could have made better decisions on the ball. Could have made better
I love that so much. Oh, my God.
decisions defensively. I got to be smarter with my fouls. Got to stay more, mentally aware of certain things. I got to understand the scout a little bit better. I feel like I did a good job of that at college, but it's a different level of basketball. The game's getting played at a lot faster pace. So obviously just making that adjustment and getting better game by game. I mean, this one game isn't going to define my whole career.
Yeah, of course.
Once the game, I love this. I love his mentality. Oh my God, guys. We're just going to be praising him for his entire career. I'm not going to lie to you. But I do love what he's saying. And yeah, once the game slows down for him, it's just easier, right? It'll just make everything so much easier. I don't know if it'll come to him as quick as it did for Castle, right? I don't think that based on, what I've seen from Carter Bryant. Now for Dylan Harper, he's a day one, y'all. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. He's a day one. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, okay?
Coach was saying that he thought the foul stuff was just being aggressive, and he doesn't mind that if you're going to make aggressive fouls. Is that kind of what you take away from it?
For sure, but it's got to be a smart aggressive. Like, a lot of them were dumb aggressive mistakes, to be completely honest with you. So I think the biggest thing for me is just making that adjustment moving forward.
Shouldn't be hard for him because he's actually fundamentally solid defensively, right? But yeah, what makes me excited about Carter is I feel like some people that try to bring up, is he better than Sohan? First off, no. I hope he can be just like any player. I hope every player on our team could be better than the next one. I don't care. He's a Spur, right? I love him just as much. But one thing that does get me excited about Carter is he does have solid defensive chops when it comes to fundamentals. But you know how Sohan has great fundamental defense, but he doesn't cause a lot of turnovers. He just gives you really good contests. He tries not to be too handsy, right, to get in foul trouble. Carter Bryant is one where he has that good fundamental defense, but he also can, strip the ball away from you as well. So we're going to see some big dynamic plays from him. But yeah, in this game in particular, he just seemed a little nervous, right? Guys made slight moves and he overly committed at times on defense. It's all right. It happens.
You think of playing for Coach so far?
I love Coach.
Yeah.
He's intense. He's fiery. He gets after it, and I love it.
Thank you, Mario. Mario said Brunson had a 27 field goal percentage in Summer League. Yeah, it's the Summer League.
Well, you can ask for a coach. Somebody wants to compete and win just as much as you. Obviously, we didn't win tonight, but, it is what it is. You got to prepare for the big thing in Vegas, but you obviously got to move forward and learn from all your mistakes.
When the real season starts, he's going to be your development guy. Do you feel like you're going to have a good working relationship with him going forward and looking forward to that?
Definitely. I think even with Coach Mike, and then even with the rest of the staff that's here with the Summer League team, I built great connections, so I'm just ready to get to work with everybody.
Seeing Rashard Lewis was kind of weird. So what I was going to say earlier, I guess I'll just let this play and mute it. So what I was going to say earlier was when I think about the lottery this season, it's like this every year as well. There's certain players that end up falling. And they're not falling because they're bad players, but they're falling based on circumstance, right? A lot of teams in this lottery in particular wanted to take higher swings, and they wanted more need. So there were teams that needed a improved front court, right? So they focused in on power forwards and centers. There were teams that wanted to take higher risk because the San Antonio Spurs and Mavericks actually weren't supposed to be that high in the draft, right? So it messed up a lot of people's plans where they're like, okay, we just need some swings. Hopefully this player will end up being great, right? But Carter Bryant was one where I think the reason why he fell, he was supposed to be about 8th, but I think the reason why he fell was because he's a role player. He's a high still role player. He has upside, but I think most people would agree that getting him, he's not necessarily the player that's going to change your franchise as far as big swings go, right? So at the end of the day, you're flipping a coin for somebody like Igor Dimin, who I think is Dimin, or is it Dimin? I think it's Dimin. Igor Dimin, right? You take somebody like that, he's a huge swing, but if he doesn't pan out, he's not going to be in the NBA, right? It's hot or cold with that type of player. But then you take Carter Bryant, I think he's going to be in the NBA regardless. But right now, teams saw him as a role player, right? So I think that's really what it came down to. He deserved to be higher in the draft, but because of how it panned out with us and then some of the other trades that happened, he just ended up falling, right? So I think that our expectations need to, I don't want to say it needs to be lower when it comes to Carter Bryant, because I think he's really good. I just think that a lot of us need to realize that he is a role player for us right now. And will he be more than that? Does it matter? Probably doesn't matter that much. But that's what we're looking at right now. But now as far as Dylan Harper, if you want to get your expectations high for that, I do not blame you, because he is legit. That is going to be a star, superstar. I personally think he's going to be a superstar, multi-all-star. So, but yeah, Carter Bryant is one where more of a role player than anything. So, but a really good one. Hopefully a Bruce Bowen type. Exactly. We don't need him to be more than the role player. That's another reason why I'm not worried about ball handling, right? We have guys that can do that.